Michael, do you have a moment? I hope I'm not interrupting your work.
I just finished a meeting, actually. What's the matter?
It's been a month since James and I moved in. I wanted to thank you properly. We never had a chance to really talk about it.
No need. We help each other in tough times. Family should support each other.
You took us in when James lost his job and we got evicted. Our other relatives wouldn't even hear us out. Even my own sister said we should go to a shelter. She said we were too old to start over. I was so desperate, I didn't know what we'd do. The landlord gave us just 2 weeks' notice.
Anyone would help family in that situation. Besides, Ariel was really worried about you both. She couldn't sleep thinking about you being homeless.
I'm truly grateful. We've never had someone help us like this.
You're Ariel's parents, of course we'd help. It's what family does.
You're too modest. Your father wasn't convinced at first. He seemed quite against it initially.
Though honestly, Dad's the one who allowed it since he owns the house. He makes the final decisions here.
Don't sell yourself short. We're here because you convinced him. You spoke to him for hours that day. Ariel told me how persistent you were, how you promised to take responsibility.
I just explained the situation clearly. Dad's always been reasonable when he has all the facts. He understands helping family.
But I do have one small request, if you don't mind hearing it.
What is it? I'll help if I can.
We don't plan to stay long, but James is older and struggling to find work. We can't live on pension alone. The job market is so harsh for people his age. He's been applying everywhere, even convenience stores. His pride is really suffering.
I understand. Once you find a place, we can help support you. We can't stay here forever either. We're planning to move out next year. We've been looking at apartments.
Really? Why? Is something wrong with the house? Did something happen?
We always planned to move once we found a good place. Plus, I feel bad having Ariel live with in-laws right after marriage. People keep telling me it's not right. She deserves her own space.
I don't think Ariel minds. Look how well she gets along with your father. She spends more time with him than anyone. They have such wonderful conversations.
That's because she's being considerate. She's always thinking of others.
Not at all. I know my own daughter. She's very straightforward about her likes and dislikes. She genuinely admires your father. Besides, living in such a beautiful house, I'm sure she's enjoying herself. You should see how she talks about him when you're not around.
Still, living together is living together, and Dad probably wants his freedom back.
But your father's single and getting older. Aren't you worried about him being alone? What if something happens to him?
We have a live-in housekeeper, and he's still quite active. He goes golfing 3 times a week. Sorry, we got sidetracked. What was your request?
Well, it's a bit forward, but could I switch my room?
Your room? Is something wrong with it?
Well, we're in the guest room, right? I know we won't stay long, but could we have a bigger room? Yours and Ariel's rooms are so spacious, and there seems to be empty ones. The guest room feels a bit cramped for 2 people, and James needs space for his job hunting materials.
I'm sorry, Erica, but Dad manages all the larger rooms. They include my late mother's room and my sister's room. I can't offer those. Those rooms have a lot of memories for him.
So we have to stay in the guest room?
While you're here, yes. I'm sorry. I'll help you find a new place quickly.
Oh, We can wait. There's no rush, really.
Don't worry, I'm thinking about your situation too. I know someone who helps find jobs for older workers. My work's settled down, so I'll handle it next month.
You know, this house is really convenient. Good location, housekeeper doing chores, no inconveniences at all. The neighborhood is so safe, too.
Glad to hear that.
Are you really planning to move out next year? Won't this house be yours eventually? Your sister's overseas permanently, right? She's been gone for what, 10 years now?
Maybe, but such a big house feels too much for me. The maintenance seems challenging.
Really? James and I could manage it. We could maintain it even after your father passes. It's such a fine house. Shouldn't we preserve it? James is quite handy with repairs, and I could help with the garden.
True. I don't want to think about Dad being gone, but we should discuss it. He's still healthy, though.
Yes, that's good. I'm sure your father would be happy if you inherited it. Think about it carefully. Family should keep such properties together. It's so much better than selling it to some random person. Michael, something big happened. Are you free to talk right now? I'm still shaking. I need your advice on something important. It's about your father.
What's wrong? Did something happen with Dad? Is he okay? Should I come home?
Your father wrote a will leaving me the inheritance. I didn't ask for this. I don't know what to do. We were just having our usual afternoon tea. Then he brought up the will out of nowhere.
A will? That's quite sudden. Why? He didn't mention anything to me. When did this happen? Did something prompt this?
Remember when you and Dad discussed the house's future? He mentioned selling it. This was today during tea. He seemed worried about the house's future. Said he'd been thinking about it for months.
Yeah, he brought it up last month, said it might be too much to maintain. Been on his mind since his friend passed away.
Well, I felt sad about that. It's where you grew up. It's well maintained and beautiful. Plus, I've always lived in rentals, never had a real family home, so I asked him if I could keep it. He said he'd leave me the house after he passes. I was just being honest with him. I didn't expect him to actually write a will. He called his lawyer right after our talk. The lawyers came this morning with papers.
Oh, that's great. When did he tell you this? He must trust you a lot.
You're not angry? I was worried you'd be upset. Everyone says the eldest son should inherit.
Have you told your parents about this?
Not yet. I wanted to talk to you first. Mom will probably be shocked. She keeps saying we need our own place.
Why would I be upset? Dad wants you to inherit it. I have no right to stop that. It's his decision to make. He must have his reasons. I think maybe we should discuss this as a family, though. Dad usually likes to hear everyone's thoughts.
But you were supposed to inherit it. Everyone assumed you would, since your sister never wanted it. But he did seem pretty firm in his decision already. Said something about securing the family's future.
If it were going to a stranger, I'd be concerned, but it's you. What's the difference between you or me inheriting? We're married, after all. What's mine is yours.
Well, true. But you don't seem attached to the house or eager to inherit it. You told my mom it felt too much for you. Aren't you upset about this? I mean, it's your childhood home. All your memories are here. Your mother's things, too. I thought you'd be more interested in keeping it.
It's not that I'm not interested. I just worried about the maintenance costs. I don't earn like Dad does. I wasn't sure I could keep it nice. The property taxes alone are significant, and the repairs never end.
We'll figure it out. I'll help clean.
You already have the housekeeper clean your room. You haven't cleaned once since moving in. Not even your own dishes.
Well, professionals do it better. Stop picking on me. I'll learn to clean properly. I promise I'll try harder.
Sorry. If you care about the house this much, I'll work harder. I'll increase my income so we can maintain it properly. Maybe I can take on more projects at work. I'll talk to my boss about that promotion.
Thanks, Michael. I'm so lucky. Sometimes it doesn't feel real, like I'm dreaming.
We should probably keep this between us for now.
Why? Isn't it good news?
It's not that. I just think we should hold off on letting others know. Until everything's finalized, it might cause unnecessary drama. You know how relatives can get about inheritance.
True. Thank you so much, though. I have no education or special qualities, yet I get to live such a wonderful life.
Don't say stuff like that. You're too good for me. Newlywed, yet you handle everything without complaint, and you're so good to Dad. You have tea with him daily now, right? He seems happier and more energetic lately.
His stories are interesting. I enjoy our time together. Plus, I'm picky about new places. We're the ones imposing here. I have no right to complain.
Really? People scolded me about the living arrangement, saying, think about your wife. You really don't mind? My co-workers keep saying it's unfair to you.
Not at all. I actually enjoy living together. Plus, my parents are staying here too. We're completely indebted to you and your father.
I'm really glad to hear that.
I won't tell anyone else. Not even Mom and Dad.
Thanks. We can tell them when the time is right. But what about your parents? I'm okay with them staying, but it's still Dad's house.
Oh, that's resolved. Your dad said they can stay indefinitely.
Really? When did he decide that?
Yeah, your father's such a kind person.
You think? He can be pretty difficult. He scolds me daily, but I'm glad he likes you. It makes things easier.
This is perfect, right? Both our parents nearby. We can handle any emergency quickly.
True. Can your parents manage on their pension if they stay here? I know Dad doesn't charge rent, but still.
Yeah, they said they could make it work. Mom's really good at budgeting.
Good. If they need anything, let me know. I can't help like Dad, but I'll do what I can. I want them to be comfortable here.
Got it. Oh, I'm meeting friends tonight. I'll be home a bit late. Don't wait up for me.
Okay, be careful. Ariel, come to the hospital now. St. Mary's emergency room, please hurry. Dad.
Hospital? Why? Did something happen? Michael?
Dad collapsed. They're working on him now. Come quickly.
What? How did it happen? Was he at home? Is Mom there too?
At the hospital now. Oh, the doctors are calling me in.
What happened to Dad? Michael, please answer. Is he breathing? I'm getting in a taxi now.
Sorry, he just passed away.
Really? Just now? That was so sudden.
Yeah. Are you okay? Should I ask someone to drive you? You shouldn't be alone right now.
I'm totally fine. LOL. Finally got what I wanted. Took him long enough.
Why are you laughing? What do you mean, what you wanted? Ariel?
Because I'm happy. Finally, that old man kicked the bucket. Hey, Michael, can we get a divorce right now? I've already packed most of my things. You can leave tonight. Take whatever you want. I don't care.
Divorce? What's going on? Why are you talking like this? This isn't like you at all.
I never liked you. I only married you for your father's inheritance. He wrote in his will that I get the house and other assets too. You only get the legal minimum. My parents and I will live here. You get out. Did you really think I loved you? You were just our ticket to the house. Always complaining about maintenance costs. Pathetic.
Legal minimum? What do you mean? My dad's alive!
You just said he passed away.
It's your father who died. My dad's right here beside me. He's asking who I'm messaging.
What? No way. You said Dad collapsed. You said he died. Stop lying to me.
Yeah, I said Dad, but I didn't mean mine. I meant yours. Sorry, I'm having trouble processing this. I can't believe what I'm reading. You said you married me for the inheritance? You never liked me? Were these your true feelings all along?
Wait, no, Michael. I was just panicking. Delete those messages. I didn't mean any of that. You tricked me.
Sorry, I don't want to talk right now. I need to think about what just happened. Mom's at the hospital, so Dad and I are heading home. Don't come home tonight. I don't think I can even look at you right now.
Michael, wait. It was just a misunderstanding. Let me explain in person. My father's dead? Michael, please, answer me.
Ariel, I moved your and your mom's things to storage. The key is at your hotel's front desk. I've paid the storage unit for 1 month. After that, you'll need to handle it yourself. All your personal documents are in a separate box.
Michael, please listen to me. I can explain everything. You're not even giving me a chance.
Why should I? You married me for Dad's inheritance, right? That's what you said, isn't it? Was anything ever real? How long were you planning this?
That's not true. I was just shocked then. I panicked when you thought you said your father died. Everything came out wrong. You have to believe me.
Didn't seem like shock. Your true nature came out when you thought my dad died. You laughed about his death. Were you waiting for him to die this whole time? Every tea session, every conversation, was it all fake?
Listen, I really do love you. Can you say everything I've done was a lie? Remember our first date? The way we fell in love? Those feelings were real.
Until Dad wrote that will, I thought you cared about me. But you changed after that. Going out more, frequent, expensive shopping. You started having tea with him every day after that. Was that part of your plan too? Did you think you could speed things up?
Just happened to go out more. The shopping wasn't related to anything. Why are you twisting everything? You're making normal things sound suspicious.
Maybe, but I'm still divorcing you. The papers are being prepared. My lawyer will contact yours tomorrow.
Why? I don't want to divorce you. We can work this out. I'll never mention the inheritance again. Please don't throw away our marriage.
How long must I play along? You called Dad that old man and celebrated his death. Even if you were kind before, I can't forgive that. Do you know how sick that made me feel? How could you be so cruel?
Does your father approve of our divorce? Let me talk to him directly. I can explain everything to him.
He does. Actually, he was suspicious of you before. He's known something was wrong for months. You weren't as clever as you thought.
What? What do you mean suspicious? What did he tell you?
I didn't know, but he's been investigating you for months. After your parents moved in, he installed security cameras. He saw everything. Every conversation, every action, every time you mixed something into his tea.
What? There are cameras? Where? He can't do that without telling us.
He learned you were after the house and assets, so he wrote that will to see what you'd do. Of course he's rewritten it now. It was all a test, and you failed completely, just like he suspected you would.
No way. He was testing me? The will wasn't real?
It's true. He knew you were putting something in his tea. He never drank it, of course. We're having the tea analyzed. You can't deny it anymore. The lab results come back tomorrow. Wanna confess before then? Make it easier on yourself?
Wait, I really didn't know anything. I just followed Mom's orders. She said it was just sleeping medicine to help him rest better.
You were poisoning him? So you admit it! How could you do this to your own husband's father?
I don't know. I couldn't disobey Mom. The marriage was her order too, but I gradually fell for you for real. Please believe that part at least. I love you now. I've loved you for months.
You should have told me before this happened. I'm letting lawyers handle the divorce, and I'm blocking your contact. Don't try to contact my father either. We're filing charges tomorrow. The police already have copies of everything.
Michael, please wait. I just lost my father. I have nowhere to go with Mom. No one to rely on. We're staying in a cheap hotel. Mom's crying every night. We have no money left.
You laughed when you thought my father died. Then you immediately demanded divorce. I won't listen to such a cold-hearted person's pleas. You showed who you really are. Nothing you say matters anymore.
I'm sorry. I really couldn't disobey Mom. I didn't want to do it. She threatened to do something really bad if I didn't listen to her. I was trapped. Please understand.
I can't believe anything anymore. You and your mother stay away from us forever. I'm glad to be rid of such a horrible family. The police will contact you tomorrow. This is my last message to you. Don't try to contact me again.
Michael, please. I'm begging you. Just one more chance. Don't abandon us like this.
The analysis showed poison in Dad's tea. My wife and mother-in-law were arrested and sentenced for attempted murder. In a way, it's good they won't worry about food and shelter for a while, since they claimed to have no one to rely on. The evidence was overwhelming. The security footage showed Ariel mixing something into Dad's tea every day for weeks. She and her mother Erica had been planning this since moving in. Erica had apparently been researching untraceable poisons even before they lost their house. I feel terrible for putting Dad in danger. If he hadn't noticed, it would have been irreversible. The doctors said the poison would have caused organ failure that looked natural. They planned everything so carefully. When I apologized, he said he'd teach me how to judge women better and offered to take me to his high-end club. I'm not sure if that'll help my judgment, but I'll cherish our time together and try to become someone he can trust. Looking back, there were so many warning signs. How Mom kept asking about inheritance, how Ariel changed after the will, the daily tea sessions, the way they both pushed to stay in the house permanently. I was blind to it all. The police found poison-making supplies in their hotel room. They'd been planning to try again. Erica confessed everything, trying to protect Ariel, but the evidence showed they were both involved. Ariel kept claiming she was forced into it, but her laughter when she thought Dad died showed her true nature. The hardest part was telling Dad's friends at the club. They'd all liked Ariel, thought she was perfect for me. Now they know she was just playing a role. At least Dad's okay. He never drank the tea. He'd pour it in a plant when Ariel wasn't looking. The plant died within days. That's what first made him suspicious. The divorce was finalized last week. The lawyers found evidence they'd been planning this for over a year. They chose me specifically because Dad owns this house. I was just a path to the inheritance they wanted. Dad's teaching me about reading people now. He says I'm too trusting, too eager to help. He's probably right, but I'm learning. We spend more time together now, and I'm starting to understand why he's always been so careful about letting people into his life. Sometimes I wonder if any of it was real, if she ever actually cared. But then I remember what she said when she thought he was dead, and I know the truth. The person I loved never existed. It was all an act from the very beginning. Dad's rewritten his will again. This time everything's split between me and my sister. He says the house will stay in the family like it should. We're renovating Mom's old room next month. Dad says it's time to stop living in the past. He's right. It's time for a fresh start.